Oh, hey, girl. Hey.
Oh my
Dear listeners, I had the original set to record at 1.5 speed, which means that we were at 1.0, like we would have been slower than what we. Anyway, hey.
That would have been, boy, that would have been a great bonus episode for Patreon.
I'm glad, but at the same time, I'm glad it only made it 2 minutes 30 seconds in, right?
That would have been so bad. We would have been bitter bitches.
I'm sure there's some way that I could have produced it to make it sound, but you know what that is, Maim? That's effort. And do you know what I don't like to do?
Effort.
Oh God, I don't mind putting together an IKEA thing. I don't mind like doing some of that kind of stuff. But whenever it gets to like this, I just like to have a conversation with you about things and people and
lots of people.
Have you finished watching Project Runway yet?
No.
I'm gonna. Are you gonna watch it?
Yes, and I've heard there's a lot of controversy around it. People have been talking about it, but I've not been paying close enough attention to know why. I've just seen that there's like people that have feelings about it.
Yes, it is a yes.
Yes.
When do you intend on finishing it so I can tell you my thoughts?
Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks.
2 weeks? You didn't even give me 2 hours to finish RuPaul's Drag Race before you ruined it for me that one time. You didn't even give me 2 minutes. Should we give you 2 whole damn weeks? Fine.
You can ruin Project Runway for me. I don't mind. It's not.
I won't do that. I won't do that because I've
never been as invested since post Heidi. So I mean, you know,
I will say this. It was a rigged season.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of like.
At least that was my feeling on the whole thing.
That's a bit.
That's why people have feelings about it.
No, that makes sense now because I'm like, you saying that, I'm like, wait, what? That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why people have feelings about it.
Gosh, that sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, that really destroyed what I was going to talk about today. So what's new with you?
Is that what you were going to talk about today?
Girl, let me tell you. We got not one, or it seems like, because, I can't see exactly who's listening where.
Okay.
But it seems like we got not one, but 2 people from Neptune Beach who downloaded every single effing episode of this mess.
Wow. Good on you. Good on you, sweetheart.
I don't even know where Neptune Beach, Florida is. It's near Jacksonville. I know exactly where it is because I Googled it. But I have never even seen a Neptune Beach. Have you seen Neptune Beach?
No.
Why not? Why haven't you been that part of Florida?
Have you seen what happens to people like me in that part of Florida?
I thought there were black people in Jacksonville.
I'm not talking about the black part, girl. I'm not worried about the black part in Florida, honey. That ain't the part I'm worried about.
It's Neptune Beach white.
It ain't the color I'm worried about, honey. It's the politics, honey.
Oh, well, it is still color. Is Neptune Beach Republican?
Boo-boo, I'm just assuming that everything north of West Palm Beach.
I mean, girl, and South Broward County.
I mean, if you had heard the dang school board meeting that they had talking about recognizing LGBT History Month and how for 8 hours they had to listen to fire and brimstone and scriptures and testimonies and from the general public, it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. So, yes, I don't have anything against the gays. However, and then they launch into another diatribe. My favorite one was this one lady who said this one woman was obviously she was upset because
obviously
She felt that her community was being attacked. So, of course, she got a little upset as she was talking. So then another woman referenced that and said, "Why is there so much yelling? This is the place of peace." And then after the first 20 seconds, she was yelling. It's like, you people have lost your minds. So yeah, that's a thing. It's a thing. So yeah. So Neptune Beach, I may come visit you one day, honey. I might, right? Oh, if Neptune Beach is anywhere near what's it where we're doing the thing at? The gay wherever that college is, that people go to. What is it that starts with a G?
What are you talking about?
University of Florida in I can't remember.
Are you going somewhere? Doing something?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah,
what? It's not on your calendar.
God damn. Hold on. Let me find it. Gainesville. That's it. Gainesville. So yeah, if Neptune Beach is near Gainesville, you can come meet me at the KirbyCon on September 30th. I'll be adding that to
girl,
the
it's
calendar.
nowhere near Gainesville. It's an hour and a half drive away.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Gainesville. Ooh, girl, you're going to Gainesville?
I mean, we're going. It's a college town. It's fine.
Gainesville's like in the upper middle of the state.
I know where it's at.
Well, girl, Neptune Beach is near Jacksonville.
Okay. I mean, Florida is very much like North Carolina because in certain parts of the state there's not much to do. People don't mind driving.
Okay. But what exactly are you doing in Gainesville? This thing you haven't told me about.
We're doing another KirbyCon.
Which is a what?
Like the big anime thing we did down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just doing it up there now.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing it in a few different cities in the future.
Ooh, what other cities are you going to?
I don't know yet.
Is it on your calendar?
They haven't been planned yet. The dates. God. I'm still recovering from last night, and you were just like throwing all of this at me.
Dear listeners, speaking of a speedy recovery, hey, Maim, did you know that we have a Patreon? That's right. If you go to patreon.com, Mims and Maim, you can throw somebody, hey, Maim.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that we have another podcast?
What? Say what? That's
right. We have You Slay Me, our Murder She Wrote podcast, and We Object, our Ally McBeal podcast, and Maim.
Yes.
Maim, if you become a patron,
yes,
you get to see video of us recording We Object in the lightest of drag.
The lightest of drag.
The lightest of drag. Hey, Maim.
Mm-hmm.
Maim.
Yes.
Maim.
Yes.
Did you know that we have merchandise?
What?
That's right, Maim. If you go to mimsandmaim.com, you can buy something, and somebody actually did, so good on them.
Good on you, person. Thank you.
They got a You Slay Me mug.
Oh,
which I love it when you buy mugs.
I'm telling you, mugs are the way to go.
Mugs are the way to go. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Maim.
Yes.
Do you know what I love?
5-star reviews.
I love calendars and 5-star reviews. That's right, dear listeners. Calendars help you keep track of where Maim is in this world, and 5-star reviews help boost this podcast. Dear listeners, I'm glad that I'm not sharing this right now. Actually, I may, if she lets me, just on Instagram, this face that she's giving me right now out of drag. It is delightful.
Glad you like it.
This is season 5, episode 1. That's right, dear listeners. We're here. Season 5, episode 1, A Blast from the Past.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie, just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night The light went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
So, babe, we're at Sugar Bakers.
Sugar Bakers.
And I don't know if you know this, but it's fall.
I mean, you can't always tell in Georgia.
No, you can't. You can't. Well, I mean, you could at this time because it was Sweeps Week. So if
I love a good Sweeps Week episode.
I mean, it could. I don't know if this would be because sometimes they did Sweeps Week the week after everything started.
Yes. I don't think this one, to me, this feels like when they did spring Sweeps Weeks, like this time period. Because the 90s is when Sweeps Week started shifting to the springtime.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's fall, and Mary Jo wanted to do a lot this fall, like clean up, read Anna Karenina, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She ended up not buying a bathing suit.
Oh, I mean, that is, in some places, a mark of improvement.
So, ooh, hold on, girl. My hot neighbor's walking by again right now.
Hello, hot neighbor.
Sorry, I don't like to see you go, but I love it when you do. That's.
Oh, this is one with the big butt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say "wayo."
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Dear listeners, if you never bounced to that at a club. I don't know. I mean, that's really how you dance to that, right? You just sort of bounce around. That and Dark Beat.
Oh, not Dark Beat.
I love Dark Beat. Girl, when I used to go to Goth Night here, and Dark Beat would come on, let me just tell you, those 7 people who like to dance would get on that floor and search for their contact all over the place.
There was a lot of that last night. It was great. Great.
So I don't know if you have you ever heard goth dancing described? So you look up in the air, you look up in the air, you look up in the air, you go back down, you go down. Oh no, I've lost my contact. You pick it back up, you look, is it clean, and you put it back in.
That's not that far off, really. It really isn't.
I know.
Actually.
I know, girl. I know. I was a little goth for a little bit, just a little bit goth.
Were you?
A little bit, yeah. I like to go to goth night, wear some black, feel some feelings.
I mean, well, you do look good in black.
I do. I know it's slimming.
I mean, to a point. That's what you get, right? You earned that one. You earned that
girl,
one today.
I'm glad you're actually, funny. So, Charlene, but not funny, hey, funny, eh.
That's how I've gotten through life.
So, Charlene read her book this time. She read Vanna Speaks.
Oh my gosh. That should be our next book club pick.
And we need a book club first. She doesn't know about all Vanna's beauty tips. Now this one wasn't in the book, but
Okay.
she heard that Vanna would take a shower, looks up, and lets the water just hit her teeth like a water pick.
Oh, that seems in theory like it would work.
And Mary Jo's like, well, who would try that? And Charlene made a face. And did it work? Well, no. And then Charlene goes into a story about some turkeys and how people thought they were so dumb because in a rainstorm they would just look up and drown from all the water. And then who knew that that Vanna White was dumber than turkey?
I was once again, this is where that show has that very strange, right on the edge of slight misogyny.
Yeah.
Knowing now what we know about how Vanna White kind of really suffered to get her voice heard and, them telling her to just shut up.
And did not get to replace Pat Sajak.
Nope. So, I mean.
I was like, pardon me, what? They aren't going to have her replace Pat Sajak?
I mean, he's just retiring now and still, no, it's not good.
Well, Anthony's here.
Finally, a man.
A black man with a crowbar who found something in the basement.
Yeah. That's. I didn't think of it like that.
So he drags Julia down the basement with him.
Yes, it was very weird how they did that scene.
And Suzanne's here now, too.
Looking good, except for her makeup.
And she is never going to go back to Madam Cindy's again. That's a waxer.
Oh, why is that?
They start laying men in.
Ooh.
And, like, they are like babies when they get waxed. Have you ever been waxed?
I've waxed my nose before. Like my nose hairs.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think you're supposed to wax your nose.
Oh, well, they do it at the barber shop, so I did it.
Yeah, I think that area right there is considered... You may want to look into that. I think that's considered too thin of skin to actually wax. You're supposed to actually pluck there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not good. That's very bad.
Yeah, I think it's got an increased risk of, like, ripping skin off.
Lovely.
But look into it. You can wax the inside of your nose.
No, that's what I do. That's what I mean, like the hairs.
Girl. All right, let's have a little bit of clarity here. Girl, people grow hair on the top of their nose.
Okay.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh no, I only ever use those Biore strips for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thought you were talking about right here. Like that's.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, when they stick the stuff inside your nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so you've never had your back waxed?
I don't have any hair on my back.
Never had your back waxed?
No.
What about your chest?
I don't have very much.
Legs?
No.
Arms?
Mm-mm.
What kind of drag queen are you?
I'm a drag queen with a beard. So I think you kind of know the rest from there.
It's true. Well, so I've had my back waxed, and it did not feel good. It feels like somebody's slapping it real hard.
It's weird. It's like, I guess, yeah. I never really thought that until you just said that. Like, I don't really have any hair on my back. Like, I'm not really like my torso is just not very hairy. I mean, I have a little bit, but I guess I had never really thought about that before.
Yeah, and when I got, I had somebody I knew that really wanted to get their back waxed. Like it bothered them. It never really bothered me, but I was like, just in case I'm shirtless at the bar, I might as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so he was like, he went there and he screamed. I was like, okay, this is.
He screamed?
Yeah, girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was watching a really interesting there's some twinkish kid or maybe a porn star that's like interviewing these people randomly at like gay events.
Mm-hmm.
And he was interviewing this one fellow who was completely hairless.
Mm-hmm.
And fit or whatever, and he said, what's your least favorite and favorite thing about the queer community, after him asking earlier about, do you prefer hairy or smooth? And he was like, smooth. And he said it in this very biting way. And then when he asked that second question, he's like, I hate how judgy we are. It's like I had to pause it because I was just laughing so hysterically. It's just the self-awareness is just not as strength.
So I was hooking up with somebody.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Ooh, in one night?
No, girl, not in one night.
Oh,
Lord.
okay.
But they were like, I don't really like hairy people. It's like, bitch, have you seen me? There is no part of this body that does not have hair, like right here and right here,
right.
Like
that's it.
My forehead
that's all.
And that little piece of my wrist. That is it. So I'm so sorry that you made the sex with me.
Not made this.
Anyway, so Mary Jo has a phone message.
Oh, who's it from?
Daryl Morton.
Daryl Morton. Oh, that's one of her old friends, right?
Yeah, and Charlene used the word schlep when she's talking about something. And she tells Suzanne not to be a yutz. And we find out it's not anti-Semitic. She just has a new real estate agent.
Yes. So fun story. When we used to go to New York for family trips, I would always come back talking like that from being around all my different family members when I was really young. Oh, I used to use those expressions so much. So when Charlie started doing it, I was like, I know the feeling. It's your brain hears these new things and you can't help yourself. You're like, oh, this sounds so great. Oh, I mean, I still say oi way too. Thank you to my my aunt and uncle who lived in the Bronx that used to just sound like this all the time.
So Mary Jo had a pact with Daryl.
Okay.
That they would get married when they got older, if they were single.
Got it.
And she also needs a man to talk to Quinn about sex.
Isn't he a little young for that?
Well, he who knows?
Jeez.
It's been 5 years now, so he'd be about 10. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Well, that's true. He would be.
What age did your parents talk to you about sex?
My mom didn't technically talk to me about sex. She talked to me about STDs.
Okay.
And she didn't actually talk to me about STDs. She just gave me a lot of brochures on all the different ones. And I think my dad had that conversation with me when I was, I want to say 12-ish.
Jesus. Okay.
Why? What is that? I don't know what that means. Is that?
Oh, I learned at 6. So there's.
Oh.
Yeah, or 7.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember every family is a little bit different, and I was never very. I mean, you know, people very rarely look at me now and think sexual things. So I think my family had the same thought. I think my family had the same reaction to like, oh, he's gonna be a late bloomer.
I wonder what age they told Big Sister Maim. Like 3.
No, that's more like Big Brother Maim, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I was a late bloomer. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I was a late, slow bloomer, and the bloom is still blooming. I think I'm like a corpse flower.
Eventually, it's just going to happen, but it's going to be real stinky. So apparently Quinn's been paying a nickel to look at girls when they go up the jungle gym. Look up their skirts.
Wasn't that a disturbing thing to you when they said that?
Yeah.
I felt that was disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, not even funny, just like, that's creepy.
Well, but haha, it's funny.
Oh, those little boys, those precocious little boys.
And Ted's in Sweden on a gynecologist exchange.
He wants to see those Swedish vajayjays, because, you know, they're hard up for good gynecologists. So,
yeah. Well, Julia's back upstairs, and she found out this house was built. The foundation was an 1836 house, and the house on top of it was built. So it could have been like one of the houses that was burnt by Sherman.
Whoa, an antebellum house?
An antebellum house that Julia's going to call the Historical League.
Good on her.
So later, Charlene says that the Old South was a neat period of history. To which Anthony just goes, how I long for those days to return. I will give the man this. His sense of humor in this is probably the best part of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah. Once again, self-awareness.
Uh-huh.
And I think, I mean, from my perspective, right, I can remember that there was that weird time when we were younger where people did talk about the South like that. Like, it was like this Disneyland or something like that. Like,
Younger
Sure.
girl, they still talk about it.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like when we were like in school and things like that, right? And like the education system, it was just very so strange to me.
Yeah, because they focus on the antebellum. They don't really talk or didn't really talk about slavery.
No, at all. Like, I remember I actually have so my first boyfriend, he had a aunt that was obsessed. Actually, his entire family was so obsessed with Gone with the Wind that his middle name is from one of the characters from Gone with the Wind.
Scarlet?
No, not Scarlet.
Mammy or
we're not gonna. We don't do names, so remember, we're not gonna do that part.
Yeah.
But anyway, like his middle name was from there because it was a very unusual middle name
Okay.
for a boy, and the spelling was unusual. And one day, it kind of dawned on me. I was like, "Are you named for this character?" And he was like, "Yes." I was like, "Wow!" Like this was before meeting his family for the first time. And then when I met them, I was like, "Oh, you folks are in a delusional land." Like that's how they talked about the South. I was like, "Okay."
I mean, I will say that North Carolina was odder than most other place in the South because, I mean, our largest slaveholder at the time, or one of our largest slaveholders at the time, was black.
Oh, I know. Well, remember his family is from Virginia. So,
Oh, yeah. They are.
Yeah.
Did they have money?
Parts of them did, not all of them. His father's side of his family did. The mother's side.
Old money. Probably owes you a few $1,000s of reparations.
They owe me a lot more than that after all that, honey. That's a whole nother
And that was
story.
just for the relationship, not for the slavery.
Same thing, girl. Lord.
I mean, he was longing for the old days of the South.
Leave that law handy. Back to the show. Back to the show.
So Julia's with the Historical League.
This lady's a hoot. I
And
liked her
they're
a
going to
lot.
get the tour of homes this weekend. So
This weekend.
she needs to bring in some period furniture. So Julia's going to bring down the antiques from upstairs, and they've got a few other things. She has to wear a tour dress and find out about the family. And the woman's like, your friends could help. And she goes over to Anthony and said that he would be a wonderful touch. And he's like, do you expect me to be in a kente sort of little loincloth and, ripped up shirt? And she's like, yes. He said, how about when we go ice skating in hell? But thank you very much for considering me.
Now, I have an issue with this particular scene because they make her seem very dumb and ditzy. And then later, which we'll get to, it's like two different characters, basically. So it was really odd because she's just like this the whole time, like, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's kind of ditzy. But then later I'm like, wait.
Oh, see, I took that as an act just to rope him in to get him into the damn thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make more sense to me because at first I was like, she's coming off as like very not aware of this conversation. So that actually would make more sense.
And the thing is, she doesn't care about this conversation. It's not that she's not aware; she just doesn't care.
I like that idea better.
Like, have you not met the
she
white?
Just like saying,
yeah, like
not in a while, girl. It's been a bit.
Okay, I mean, you live in Florida.
I know, but I'm in a neighborhood that's all of the older people are Jewish, so and they're from up north. They're not.
You mean? I'll leave that be. So we're a little bit later on at Mary Jo's. And Daryl explained it to Quentin.
Oh, good. So Quentin he's a sex machine now, right? Is that it? He's now.
Yeah, pretty much. Mary Jo tells Daryl that she loves him.
Oh.
And they talk for a little bit, and he's like, well, you know what? Remember that pact? Let's just get married. We defined old as 35. So let's do it.
It's a lot of it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Girl, did you start feeling old at 35?
No.
When did you start feeling old?
I still don't feel old.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm. I mean, I might feel old to you, but I mean, I don't know. I don't feel. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's even my mom says that though, right? Like she's like, I don't feel my age.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just the way. It might just be the fact that we're always so busy all the time and doing stuff constantly. It's like I don't really feel old. I just feel like okay, cool.
Well, girl, guess what? In about 2 to 3 years, you're getting ready to have your first colonoscopy. I guarantee you're gonna feel old then.
I mean, I've been preparing for that my whole life. So, like, what do you got?
Oh, no. I need the bigger one.
Staring at the machine like, psh, I've had worse.
You don't even need to put me out. It's fine.
People go to sleep for this? I will write in my diary about it later. Are we getting Taco Bell after?
Oh, girl.
It's custom.
So, because you only have a light salad before, then you have to. I know.
I'm not used to doing this in the daytime. So many lights. Can have like a couple of candles or something.
Oh my God. So Mary Jo says okay.
Wait, what?
Says a little bit later on at Sugar Baker's. And the downstairs has been rearranged.
A lot.
Like there's some furniture there.
I kind of like the furniture, honestly.
I did too. I do not like. I need to mention this. I do not like how they repainted the back wall, the kitchen area.
Yeah, I wasn't into that.
Oh God, country blue. I think it is. It was all over the acrylic craft paint at the time.
Not in it.
Girl, did you ever acrylic craft paint? Like the little gnomes and stuff that you could paint and like with the acrylic paint. Okay.
No.
It was a thing my family got into. All of us.
I think that my mom would have been against it just because she would have thought about the mess there was to clean up later. Even though I was not a messy craft person.
It wasn't that messy. Like it really wasn't.
I know, but she was always thinking. She always had that forethought of like,
oh, I know.
I ain't cleaning this up.
My family too. Finger paints.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear about kids that do that stuff, I'm like, oh. I didn't do
that. I did it like 3 times, maybe. Using the Snoopy ice cone maker.
Oh, I never got one of those, but my cousin had one, and I used to love it.
And do you know what they do? Make a goddamn mess.
They did, but that wasn't my house.
Speaking of that, girl. Speaking of that, there's Document 72 Hours on NHK. Do you ever watch Document 72 Hours?
Yes.
The most recent one is them at one of the shaved ice shops, like a traditional shaved ice shop.
Oh, really?
It's very good. I just want one of these shaved ices. Is really what it is.
I'll watch that
because they have ultra pure. You'll watch that.
Well, I mean, like I'll like make time. Like not like.
Have you made time to watch anything else I've suggested recently?
I started watching that Centaur Land.
Did you like it?
I do like it so far.
Good.
Yes.
Good. It gets weirder.
I watch things that you send me. I just don't have the same time to like watch stuff all the time. That's all.
Dear listeners, she does.
I don't.
If she just used her calendar, she would know how to plan.
Yes, that's the thing that's keeping me behind my calendar. That's it. You nailed it. Nailed it on the head. It's just my calendar. If I just use that calendar link, it would magically free up so much of my life.
I was talking to one of my friends, and their daughter, their very young daughter, is like has so many things to do this weekend. I was like, if you don't watch out, by the time she's 12, she's gonna have a planner, and she's gonna be that girl in high school. And do you remember that girl? I didn't like that girl.
I do remember that girl.
Let's see.
I did like her. I did like her planner though.
Let's see if we're talking about the same girl.
It's a cute planner.
Are we talking about the same girl?
That's who we're talking about. It's hilarious because based off of her Facebook, her kids are living the exact same life now.
I know. They look like they're cut out of sugar cookies, don't they?
They do, without any spice.
Just palest white.
So pale. So pale. Which is weird because they do outdoor sports. It's so strange.
Suzanne asked how we're supposed to get any work done.
I agree. That does make sense for everybody else but Suzanne.
I know, exactly. The tour, by the way, is on and they're upstairs.
Oh. Someone get the phone. Get the phone, somebody. Hello.
It's Daryl.
Oh, no. Mary Jo does not want to talk to him.
No, she's avoiding him. And Suzanne asks why they aren't talking, and Mary Jo's like, well, it's very complicated. Charlene puts down the phone and is like, well, why aren't you talking? And Mary Jo just answers immediately that, he asked her to marry him and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and she doesn't know if she wants to. And Suzanne is rightfully offended.
I thought so too. Yes.
Like, it's fine if you don't answer that question and then answer Charlene later, not around Suzanne, but to do it right the fuck in front of her.
That was rude.
Rude.
Like, that's the only word for it. It was just rude.
Rude.
Mm-mm.
I had a friend of mine who was at IKEA, and she pulled into a parking space, and this woman who wanted the space, but, was nowhere near the space.
Yes, tell me more.
Keep in mind, this was in D.C. or Virginia or Maryland somewhere.
I remember that IKEA. We used to drive to that one.
Screamed at her outside of the rolled down window, screamed at her about her being rude. And my friend is a sensitive soul, so it kind of afflicted her for a little bit. I would have been like, you want to see rude, bish?
Like, for real, I would have cussed them out right there.
You want my parking space? All right, take it. Hit my car. I got your I got your license plate number. It's fine.
Oh my God, it would have been like that scene in Still Magnolias.
That's not Still Magnolias.
Wait, which movie was that?
Fried Green Tomatoes. Fried Green Tomatoes, Kathy Bates.
Yep. There was a scene like that in Still Magnolias, though, too, wasn't there?
No.
With Shirley MacLaine? I thought they had a similar...
You're talking about I'm older and have better insurance. That's Kathy Bates.
I always get those two movies mixed up.
Well, one's good and one's okay.
Wasn't Fried Green Tomatoes the one that kid had us all go to for his birthday?
Girl, I'd never seen Fried Green Tomatoes, so if you was a kid...
It wasn't you. There's... Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
This camera flooding back. There was a kid. A boy.
There was a child.
And that was what he wanted to do for his birthday, is have there's 5 of us, and his mom bought us all tickets to go see Fried Green Tomatoes.
Do I know this person?
I can only remember his first name. I can't remember his last name.
Can you message it to me?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this memory.
There was a boy, strange enchanted boy.
I wonder what this boy is doing now. Maybe that's it. Is that it? I can't remember now. It started with a B.
Okay.
And then he moved away.
Oh no, this person never moved away.
No, this person moved away. I think two grades after that.
What grade was this in? Oh, now, dear listeners, we're going a little deep dive.
It was the year the movie came out. We saw it in the theater.
1991.
Yeah.
So we were 11. So that was 6th grade?
6th or 5th.
Oh.
The 6th grade was 12.
So we may want to get our annuals out.
It's always so funny, like the great thing about being born with a decade year, it makes like math like that's so easy. Grades and everything else, it makes it so easy.
I'm gonna see if I can get to my annuals whenever I get home. Were they our grade?
They were in our grade. Name started with a B. They had freckles, wore glasses, and now that I come to think about it, in hindsight, I'm like, they were a little bit feminine, like we were.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was butch.
Yes, for a lesbian. Yes, you were.
Girl, I was the second tallest kid in our grade.
That has nothing to do with your butchness, dear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We had a very tall woman as our gym coach too, so I don't know. That means nothing. That means nothing.
I wonder if she was lesbian. I hope she was.
She wasn't. I mean, like, she may have been, but she got married, had a kid, and all of that stuff.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. So, I mean, she just, some of those lady basketball players, it's deceptive, right? You think one thing and it's very different.
Well, the tour is now coming downstairs.
Okay.
And well, first of all, Mary Jo's thinking about marrying him.
Which is wild to me.
So the tour's coming downstairs, and Suzanne's sitting down in like the little area, and Julia comes down in a maid costume.
She looks terrible.
She does.
Like, this is like one of the worst. I mean, I get it, it's supposed to be, but my Lord, how awful.
So Karen, which is the woman's name who was running the tour, like, tells a story of all the furniture and hits Suzanne with a fan to try to get her up. A man puts a drink down on Julia's table, and Julia's not very happy about that. Karen tells a story about Julia's family having, her great-great-granddad having 20 illegitimate children. And then a man just ups and starts smoking in this house.
So many issues with this episode.
And Julia just kicks them all out.
Which makes sense. When they put that close up on his nasty ass feet, putting out that thing with the flip flop?
Were they actually nasty? I didn't really.
His feet look nasty. They look nasty. Mm-hmm.
I mean, do feet gross you out?
No, his feet look nasty.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that they grossed me out. His feet, he had nasty feet.
I don't know.
I mean, I think they were intentionally nasty feet.
I did not know if you had a foot fetish.
You ain't got to have a foot fetish to recognize somebody got nasty feet. And if you don't recognize somebody has nasty feet, something's wrong with you right now. Come on, sis. What?
Girl, I can't talk. I've got big ass hobbit feet. I don't even look.
Not hobbit feet, girl.
They are huge. They are flat. They are hairy. What?
But at least you're taller, so it's not quite like a hobbit. I mean, it'd be different if you were like my height.
Just put the camera up a little bit and then I'll be a hobbit. Is that better?
Oh my God, Frodo.
Have you ever done or thought about doing, you could do the whole dinner, like you could watch all 3 movies.
Yes.
The director's cuts.
Okay.
And like schedule out meals throughout the entire thing to where you have the full Hobbit like eating schedule.
The dining experience?
Yes. Like you have 11sies, you have first breakfast, you have second breakfast, you have 11sies, you have this. And just you eat throughout the entire day.
That would be nice, actually.
And there's like there's people do menus for this. Yeah.
I would do that.
It's like a 12-hour adventure.
I would love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like that. That actually sounds quite nice.
A lot of the food, though, is a little heavy for Florida. Right? Because,
I mean, it's fine. I don't leave the house.
That's true. And you can just turn down the air to like 65 degrees, 60 degrees. Yeah.
60 degrees.
Yeah, what do you have it on in the wintertime?
Our house?
Yeah.
It's the same temperature all year.
Which is?
74.
Oh, that's so warm. Girl, in the summer
it doesn't feel warm to me. I don't know why. I mean, it's not chilly, but it doesn't.
In the summer, girl, in the summertime, in the summertime, we keep our house at 67.
Whoa!
And in the winter, girl, in the winter, we keep our heat at 62.
62?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because you can always put clothes on, you just can't take them off.
I mean, that's true. What? I don't know. Our house is just always the same temperature. Just we never touch it.
Okay.
I didn't realize that was I didn't realize people did that.
Yeah.
Fluctuated so much.
Oh yeah, like it. If you have a Google Nest,
okay,
like it will, when you're not home, it'll raise temperature up to like closer to 80, and then when you come back, it'll lower it back down. Because
it seems like it'll be uncomfortable for the animals, though.
They're fine.
Okay.
I have it set to go up to 76, which is only 2 degrees warmer than what you do.
Is that warm for you? 76?
76 is broiling hot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I mean, I'm just genuinely, this is information to me. Like,
girl,
this is really surprising.
Bertie Sanders and I have the same thing. This is the one
I am here asking for your support.
He has one rule about hotels. It's like his one thing whenever he's touring, whatever. The hotel room must go down to 60 degrees, and it must be down at 60 degrees before he gets there.
Wait. 60 degrees is cold.
Girl, whenever I go into a hotel room, I turn the air all the way down to just cold to make sure it's comfortable.
Okay.
I can't sleep at above like 75 degrees. It's too hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, this is really new information. It's interesting.
Yeah. And people sleep better in the cold. Maybe that's why you have trouble sleeping. That right there. Or girl, maybe you should put on a calendar.
I'll just remember to put my pill dosage on my calendar too, so I'll just don't forget those.
So Julia kicks them all out, and Karen looks at her and is like, well, you signed up for this. You screw us, and we'll do to you what Sherman did to Atlanta.
Good line. That's a good line.
And Charlie just goes, oi. So it's a little bit later on, and Charlene, Anthony, and Suzanne are leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary Jo is in costume because she's going to help Julia.
She looks great.
Daryl's here and decides to talk to Mary Jo.
Oh, she's been avoiding him still.
They do a little funny sit down in a hoop skirt.
You have to if you got a hoop skirt on.
Have you worn a hoop skirt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I figured. Did you make it yourself? The hoops, I mean.
No, I don't make undergarments. I'm just like, whatever. It's the trouble that they are when you can just bid them for like $20. Whatever.
So Mary Jo turns him down based on that she wants the best for him. She wants the best for her, but she also wants the best for him, and he deserves it, or to at least try to find it.
It makes sense what she says.
It does.
I mean, it's like, it was kind of sad because I was like, well, especially now because people are always like, marry your best friend. And I'm like,
Well, no, don't marry your best friend.
Because I'm like, what happens if you break up? You lost your best friend and your lover?
Yeah, like my husband and I have a very interesting thought on this. We are husbands. We aren't necessarily friends.
Yeah.
Right? Like, friend is someone who I will talk to about things, who I'll kiki with, who I will, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which sounds like husband, but, not quite.
It took me a long time to realize that. Like, I'm very transparent. When I was in my last relationship, was like, oh, yeah, right? Like, you only have this one and only, and this is who you're doing. And then after a while, you're like, wait, who do I talk to when I'm not feeling always 100% and when I'm...
Exactly. Because there's some things that you can't talk to your husband about. Especially if it's about them.
Yeah.
A therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I always keep friends. Keep friends when you have a husband, right? And that's
it.
And as you get older, friends kind of drift away, and they're harder to keep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, but just got to keep them.
You got to keep them, y'all. It takes some effort. When you get an adult, it takes effort to keep friends.
It does take effort. It does take.
But it is, it's worth it if you can do it.
And the effort has to be two ways, right?
That's right, Handy. Don't be letting it be one-sided now.
Mm-hmm. Now, not unless there's a little asterisk with that one. Unless that friend is a real good time, and you just that they are that friend.
Y'all show up, it's a burning fire, and then you let those embers go down, and then the next time you meet, burning fire again.
Exactly. It's like that friend who you don't even want to be friends with them all the time. You just want to hang out for like
sometimes those
4 hours.
Friends are exhausting.
And then go the hell home.
Because they can be tired.
They can. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. But for those 4 hours, it's fun. But right after you get home, you're like, I gotta sleep.
Yes.
I need some liverite and a prayer. Somebody break out the anointing oils. We did some
Somebody
things.
please get the olive oil, y'all. Come on now. Mama needs the blessings.
So Karen's here with the tour. And Karen is not in a garb today. She's just in a little black dress. And one of the women is like, this is not a good house. And so she tells the story of Stonewall Sugarbaker, who was a horse thief.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, the whorehouse in, oh God, what's that movie?
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas?
No. The one we were talking about earlier.
Oh, Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Thank you. That's what this house is based. Is the original of. Oh my God! I hit page down.
This used to be a whorehouse.
Exactly. And then Julia goes off about how you just want to sell the myth of the Old South with black people outside saying yes and waving at you, and like. As get out, as God is my witness. If you do not, I will do to this house what Sherman did.
That's good.
And the tourists love it and clap. Mary Jo turns to Julia and says, I don't think you're going to be invited to this next year. And Julia just frankly, I don't give a damn. Do 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 do. Hey, Maim.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
Oh, Mary Jo in that yellow antebellum dress, she looked literally like Southern goddess. Like she looked really good in that dress. The color, everything, it just was perfection on her.
So I'm giving it to somebody else. I know, but I am giving it to Suzanne at the beginning. I love that dress. It looks like something I would wear in drag.
No, it did. Her makeup this episode was really throwing me off, and it was just making everything look not good on her. Like somebody did if you go back and look at it, someone did something to her makeup. It looks blotchy and like it's not blended very well. I could not figure out what they did, but they just...
Oh, I think this is part of where, quote unquote, Delta Burke was being difficult to deal with. I think this is going to be consistent throughout the season.
It was, I mean, like,
so I'm giving it to her whenever I can.
well, you know what though? All things aside, that would be my number 2 because that dress was perfection.
Now Mary Jo's out. She looked adorable, right? But I can't give it to an antebellum dress. I can't.
I get it, but gosh, I love them. I can't help it, and I will tell people that all day, every day. I can't help that I love that dress and that style, but I love big gaudy dresses no matter whatever era they're from.
Did you like this episode, Maim?
It's fine. It's good.
Fine. Yeah,
it's not to me. It did not feel like a season beginning episode.
No, it didn't.
Like it just felt very much like we're just still doing it's. And dear listeners, for those that remember, right, like back in the 80s and 90s, like season beginning episodes used to be like big deals. It was like something that was just a little bit different than normal. So to me, like that's, I was just expecting a little bit more like, wow, kind of thing or something. More event like.
So, babe, we got a message.
Oh boy.
On Instagram.
Not on Instagram.
From
is that where the kids are?
It is. It's from the little boy who lives in the middle of Eastern North Carolina.
Oh.
And it is. We have something to ponder.
Okay.
Suzanne Sugarbaker holds 11 titles.
Oh.
She tells us 5 of them.
Okay.
Miss Georgia 1975. Miss Highway Patrol. Miss Atlanta Arboretum, Azalea Festival Queen, and Miss Georgia Electric Co-op. What do you imagine are the others?
Oh,
his that he came up with: Miss Atlanta Christmas, Savannah Shrimp Festival Queen, Planters Peanut Princess 1974, and my personal favorite that he came up with, and you're going to get a chortle out of this, Miss Wachovia World.
Oh, Wachovia! Oh, I forgot about them.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like she was definitely a Miss Princess Peach at some point.
See, I'm thinking a Ms. Dukes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for the mayonnaise.
For the man, yeah. What, is there another Dukes?
Is it got to be a boiled peanut princess?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Emory College had something, right? Actually, she went to school at Old Miss, so one of them could be like an Old Miss queen.
She was definitely homecoming queen at Old Miss.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
So,
and there has to be at least 2 other types of titles at Ole Miss because there's homecoming, there's like, what do you call it? Like I don't know. They don't call it like proms there, but they have all these other like Christmas court,
the
winter court and things like that.
Yeah, when do you get the mum? What is that? That's in Texas.
That's the Texas one.
Yeah. God.
Ole Miss, they just give you, some ragweed.
Some ragweed.
I don't know what they got there, honey. I don't know. Cotton. She had to be a Miss Cotton Bowl.
You're probably right.
Miss Cotton Bowl in Ole Miss.
And probably maybe Miss Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
Because I know that they had Cotton Bowl, so I know she was. Did you know that she ain't not gonna not be that?
Maim, why don't you tell dear listeners where they can find you?
Well, apparently I'm being stalked by Southerners. But hey, dear listeners, you can it's me, Auntie Maim, fair relation, all that stuff. You can find me online at Auntie Maims with an S. And at the end, you can find me hosting the amazing Colossal Karaoke Show at Killer Idol in South Beach, and doing improvised comedy and stand-up with the Villain Theater in Miami. More about them at villaintheater.com. And lastly, with the It's Happening Out network, commentary and comedy, you can find out about them at It's Happening Out. And if you want to get links to anything, just go to I'mYourAuntieMaim.com. How about you, Mims?
And dear listeners, when she finally fills out her calendar, you can find out when she's doing all of these at I'mYourAuntieMaim.com. Hey y'all, I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me online at thedivinemissmims.com. Hey, Maim.
Yeah.
Did you know we have a Patreon? That's right.
What?
You go to patreon.com. Mims and Maim throws money. Hey, Maim.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that we have another podcast?
You don't say.
That's right. We have You Slay Me, our Murder She Wrote podcast, and We Object, our Ally McBeal podcast. Hey, Maim.
Uh-huh.
Did you know we have merchandise?
What?
That's right. You go to MimsMaim.com. You can buy some things. Hey, Maim.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love?
5-star reviews.
That's right, dear listeners. I love 5-star reviews. If you want to support us, leave us one. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you know that you can reach out and talk to us?
Yeah.
That's right. You can send us an email at mimsandmaim@gmail.com or text us at 704-380-0618. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Then why don't you just say goodnight, Maim?
Good night, Maim.
Bye, y'all.